In this video, I'm going to be talking about InsideTracker, one of my favorite companies when it comes to taking charge of your own health. I've been working on my health for over 20 years, and services like this have been extremely important in my journey of healing and vitality. The way InsideTracker works is you create a profile online. They order lab testing to check your biomarkers in the form of blood and DNA. Got the DNA test they sent me right here, which I took and submitted. And then you also fill out a questionnaire about your lifestyle, what you eat, how you sleep, your fitness routines if you have them. Tons of science has gone into how InsideTracker analyzes the data that you submit. So once everything has been completed, you're going to be able to log in on the app on your phone, which I'll show you in a minute, or to go on your computer and go on your profile and get even a deeper dive into the results of your testing, and then get very specific recommendations on how you can optimize your health. I think that's one of the coolest things about InsideTracker is it's not based on your average person, right? So I'm 50 years old at the time of this filming. I don't want to have the health and vitality of your average American 50-year-old. No offense to those of you out there. I want to be optimized. So when I looked at my InnerAge, like my health score age versus my biological age, I think it was 47, we'll look at in a minute. But I'm like, that's not even good enough for me. I want to be like 40, like an optimized 40-year-old at 50. And I think that's something that's really important. If you go for a yearly exam at your average family practitioner, right, your family doctor you've been going to since you were a kid, they're going to check your biomarkers and just make sure everything's okay. The difference with InsideTracker is they're going to go, okay, what's optimal for you specifically based on your goals and your lifestyle. So this is a really powerful tool for people like me and probably you that are really into their longevity and vitality, so that you can actually measure what's going on, see in a very specific scientific way what's happening inside your body, and then follow very specific lifestyle recommendations and track as you go to make sure that you're meeting your goals. So once all the data is in, what's really cool is to be able to log into the app and look at that on your phone, or log in on a computer and do an even deeper dive into the results of your biomarkers and all of the recommendations. And another great thing about this is that you can actually edit the things that you like to eat. So there might be recommendations that I got, for example, that was like, eat more almonds. Well, maybe I don't want to eat almonds. So I can actually put my dietary restrictions in there and then get recommendations based on what I like to eat or what I know agrees with my body. So the first step is, again, creating a profile, getting your blood work done, sending in the DNA sample, then getting the results and going through your profile and starting to look at all the different recommendations and then tracking your progress as you go. So now I've logged into the app, and I'm going to look at the recommendations that have been made and look at some of my progress. So the first thing that I'm going to look at is what my main goal was, and my main goal here was gut health. So we can see when I log in, it's making recommendations based on that goal. So I can look at all of them, or I can just pick the supplement tab, and it says continue taking the probiotic. And when I click on that, it allows me to set reminders so that I can see every day, ding, on my phone, oh yeah, Luke, take your probiotic. Or I can check in, I can click on a certain date and I can make a report. I took my probiotic today. It's also gonna let me get some information about why this recommendation's been made. So how this helps my blood, how this helps my body. If I've got my fitness tracker connected, that's gonna give me more data. And also the science of why they're making that recommendation. And then they're going to give me more information about that particular supplement in that case. Or I can just go in and select all. And if I select all, it's going to give me all of my recommendations. So this is really handy. This is like real-time reporting based on what we found in those biomarkers. So that's my goal for gut health. I can go in and look at my overall wellness score. And that's going to let me know feedback based on the things that I input into the app, what I've reported in terms of my fitness, sleep, dietary choices, etc. And then if I want to choose one of the recommendations, let's just say eat more fresh meat instead of processed meats, which is pretty easy for me most of the time, unless I'm traveling or something like that. It's going to, again, allow me to set a reminder to do that, or to do a check-in where I can say, okay, on Tuesday I crushed it, I did it right, how it helps my blood, my body, why this recommendation has been made based on my DNA, etc. So there's a lot of great information that takes place in the app. And one of my favorite things, of course, is the InnerAge. So if I go in here and click on my InnerAge, it lets me know that my InnerAge, based on my biomarkers and my lifestyle, is 47.7, which is pretty cool because my chronological age is 50 and a half years. So I want to get that number down. I'm going to continue to work on this. I'm going to follow my plan. I've got my plan in here in the app, and then keep reporting as I go. And then probably in 3 months, I'll do another round of biomarkers, do my DNA test again, go get my blood drawn again, fill out the questionnaire, give updates about what supplements I'm using, my dietary choices, what I'm eating, how much I'm exercising, sleeping, etc. And I'm just going to keep going year over year, and I'm going to collect that data in the app so that I can track my results and actually see what's working and what's not working. So the app is a really handy and powerful feature. Okay, now we're going to take a quick peek at the web version of InsideTracker. So I've logged into my account. First thing I find here is my dashboard, and that just gives me an overview of kind of where I want to go. Some of my biomarkers, when my last test date was, for example. The thing I really like to do in here is look at my blood work. So I go into the analysis and recommendations. And this is where you kind of get the reality check, right? So I can sort my results by, if I want to be super stoked, I look at what's optimized first. Yeah, vitamin D is doing great, creatine, sodium, potassium, a bunch of minerals, a lot of things I'm doing very well in. And I would say overall, most of mine are optimized. If I want to sort them by needs work, then I can see, wow, when I did this test, I was super high in vitamin B12, for example. So of course, I'm going to get recommendations based on that. My cortisol was also high, liver enzymes. There's a number of things in here that were less than optimal. And then if I go into at risk, then that's like the stuff I really want to be looking at. So you'll see my lipids were a bit crazy in here. Total cholesterol is pretty high. Eat a lot of fat, probably not enough fiber, for example. Testosterone was in a good range, but my free testosterone a bit low. So there's a number of things I want to work on in here. Now, if I want to go in then and look at this in a table view, that's another way that I can do that. And that's just like a list. So there's a few different ways that you can kind of view this. You get more information in a more condensed kind of screenshot here if you go in table view. And then if I want to add test results, I can go in here and actually add test results that I've done in some other place that will get included here. Another cool thing is to look at nutrition. So when I go look at my personal food list, it's going to give me recommendations based on whether it's the at-risk category that I'm looking at, something that needs work, or again, optimize. So if I click on optimize, I'm going to be able to see like, wow, these are the things that I'm eating that are really working for me. If I look at the things that need work, I can see that. If I look at the at-risk, that's probably what I really want to work on. Another cool thing is I can go in here and I can apply a filter to show the foods that I eat and don't eat. So for example, my recommendations, if I didn't apply a filter, might say eat tons of pinto beans. Well, I don't really like eating legumes, so I'm going to go in and apply filters like bean-free, gluten-free, grain-free, etc. Probably be more for me, but I'll just leave those in there for now. And then it's going to give me recommendations that are more to my liking, things that I like to actually eat, things I enjoy, and things that I already know agree with me or don't. And then that's going to be then fed into the data on my recommendations. So now when I've updated this and I re-log into the app and I look at those recommendations, they're going to be different based on the preferences that I've put in here. I can also go in and have a look at my DNA. So my DNA report is a download. I don't want to take the time to download it here, but I can see based on that some things that I'm predisposed to, things that my body likes in terms of sleep needs, fitness needs, how I tolerate different foods, etc. So there's a lot of information here on the InsideTracker web version. However, like I said, most of the stuff you're going to do on day-to-day in terms of reporting, setting reminders, getting recommendations, really self-tracking is going to take place in the app. But if you want a deeper dive, the website's really great to get a more comprehensive view at your biomarkers and the recommendations. So that's a great summary of the InsideTracker program. So what we've done here is identified a common problem, right? We all want to be healthy, we want to be fit, we want longevity, vitality, we want to be optimized. But this is very difficult to do when there's so much conflicting information out there about what we should be eating and how we should be living. So what InsideTracker has done for us is given us a very clear picture of what's going on inside of our bodies right now. It's also given us a very clear measurement based on our biomarkers if what we're eating and how we're living is helping us or hurting us. And finally, we get a very clear idea of what the path forward looks like. So we can take this data, we can continue to collect new data and keep optimizing and improving our lives as we go. So I'm a huge fan of InsideTracker. It's definitely something I'm going to continue every quarter doing, getting new biomarkers, new testing, seeing what's working, seeing what's not, fine-tuning the fitness, the sleep, the diet to stay optimized and stay at the highest level of performance possible.